Hello, this is Steve and I'll be discussing the first lesson of Chapter 2. In this lesson, we'll be looking at some questions about events. Describing or recounting events is commonly done in the second part of the speaking test. You may be asked to describe cultural events, festivals, and the traditions done in your hometown or country. This part may also include questions that ask you to describe unforgettable or memorable events which have made you happy or sad. In this topic, it's important to talk about when and where it happened, who was involved, what happened, and what you did during that time, and what you liked or disliked about it. In a previous lesson in part 1, it was mentioned that it is acceptable to admit you're not knowledgeable on a topic you're being asked to answer, as long as you explain why this is the case. However, the same cannot be done in part 2, in which you'll be given 2 minutes to talk about a specific topic. If you encounter a topic in part 2 that you're unfamiliar with, there are 2 ways to solve your problem. These solutions are the key skills in this lesson. In Ielts Book 1, it was discussed that introducing another related topic helps you stick with the main topic. This technique is Solution 1. Let's review the steps for doing this. First, make a short introduction about the topic in the cue card. This is a way for you to show that you've understood the question. Hence, lexical resource will not be affected. Second, state the reason why you can't answer the question. Lastly, introduce a topic which is related to the main topic and expand your answer. The second solution is making up stories or lying. This is a strategy you can use if you don't want to change the topic given to you. This can be an effective strategy if you know a little of the topic. Lying makes an answer more interesting because you can say things from your imagination. You can adopt stories from books, movies, documentaries, or even someone's experience and make it your own. These are the 2 key skills in dealing with questions you don't know. Remember that it's not your ideas that are scored, it's the way you deliver them. Now let's look at some cue card questions about events. As you can observe, this question does not point to a specific musical event. In order to answer this with accuracy, determine first the events under this category. Musical events include balls, music competitions, concerts, music conferences, music festivals, and school musical events. Choose one of these topics and talk about it. If you're not familiar with any of these topics, it would be much better to pretend. Use your imagination and own the experience. This question about the party is likely to be asked by the examiner. The most popular answer that's brought up in this topic is birthday parties, but of course you would want to talk about an interesting party you've been to. In reality, most parties are ordinary and thus uninteresting. However, you can make these parties better in your answer by adding made-up details to give more colour to your answer. Don't worry, the examiner will not mind that your answer is only a half-truth. This is a sample answer of an examinee about a birthday party. The sample answer is half true. Most of the details were positive, despite the problem with the reservation. Although the story was partially made up, it's not noticeable because of the organisation of details. Introducing another topic and making up stories are 2 skills that you have to learn before taking the test, especially when the topic that will be asked to you is unpredictable. It's a useful strategy to make an answer more interesting, so don't hesitate to exaggerate. The questions might only point to a category with many topics under it, such as the examples mentioned earlier. Your imagination can be very useful in your answer too. Be familiar with questions under this topic, so it will be easier to respond. We've reached the end of this lesson. Thank you for listening and have a good day.